Assalamu alaikum warahmathullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Alhamdulillah. Today we're going to learn about our second major articulation point, which is Al-Halq, the throat. So in Al-Halq, we have 3 articulation points for 6 letters. Here we have the 3 articulation point, which is the deep throat, Aqsal Halq. From it, we have Hamza and Ha, and we have the middle throat, which is called Wasat al-Halq, where we have Ain and Ha, and we have the upper throat, Adna al-Halq, from where we have Ghain and Kha. Okay, so these are the 3 makhraj points. So makhraj points, each makhraj point you can have 1 letter or up to 3 letters emitting from it. So in throat we have 3 makhraj point, and in each we have 2 letters being articulated. We're gonna see one by one. Firstly, it's the deep throat. Okay, we can say it either the deep throat or the bottom throat, which is called Aqsal Halq. Okay, so from Aqsal Halq, we have letter Hamza and Al-Ha. Okay, to find out the letters articulation point. Okay, to find out the letters articulation point, we either put a sukun on the letter or a shadda. So a sukun means you are stopping on the sound of the letter. So for example, if this Hamza, if I'm going to put a sukun, As-sama, do you see? As-sama, when you stop on the letter, so sukun is basically you are going to stop the sound of the letter. Okay, there won't be any movement of the lips, or there won't be any movement in your throat area or your tongue. It's just the sound will be stopped. Okay, so when you are stopping with the sukun on the letter, you will be able to find the articulation point of a letter. The second type is, I said, was to put a shadda. So shadda is a small W placed on top of a letter, and with a haraka, it can be either with a fatha, kasra or dhamma. So for example, this scene, okay, if you're gonna put a shadda on it, you're gonna emphasize on the letter. Okay, you're gonna give some pressure, you're gonna give some time and pronounce the letter assa, assa. Okay, if you're gonna put a sukun on the hamza and a shadda fatha, it will sound as a a a a. Actually, you cannot put a sukun on a hamza. I mean, it's very difficult. Okay, so basically, you at the end of a word, then you will put a sukun for the hamza. In the beginning, you cannot put. I will show you how it is done for other letters. Okay, so with the fatha, it's a. With the kasra, it's i. The dhamma, it's u. A, i, u. Okay, this hamza, the sound has to be more profound. Okay, it's not like a, i, u. It's a, I, U. Even for this word, many of us have this thing to say as Assalamu, samau. You know, the hamza is joined with the mad. No, like we saw in the previous lesson, the mad must come from al-jawf, the empty space. Ma. Then the hamza must come from the deep throat. U. Okay, samau. There's this emphasized sound for the hamza. Sama'u. Okay, it should not sound like sama'u, a-i-u. No, it's a-i-u, as-sama'u. إذا جاء. Okay, إذا جاء. So this is how you pronounce al hamza. And the second letter is letter ha. Okay, this ha with a sukun, you see, this is how you're gonna pronounce it with a sukun if you want to find out the articulation point of the letter. Okay, because now we are studying as a theory, right? I'm just saying like this letter is coming from the deep throat, but in practical you need to feel how the letters are, you need to feel where the letters are coming from. So for this ha, you must let the air travel down through your throat, and then you should feel the air going to the bottom of the throat, and the sound is produced ah, ah, ihdina, ihdina. Okay, it shouldn't sound like ihdina. No, there shouldn't be too much of sound being produced for this ha. It's very a light ha. Ah, ha, he, who, ha, he, who. It's not like ha, he, who. You shouldn't be giving too much of sound. Okay, it's more of a airy ha. Just ha, he, who. Ha, he, who. Not ha, he, who. And when this word, when you're pronouncing it from Surah Al-Fatiha, it's not ihdina, it's ihdina, ihdina. It is only achieved when we give time for this letter. Okay, for sukun you need to give time so that the air is traveled down to your throat and the sound is produced from here. Okay, if you are not letting the air to travel down to your throat, the sound will be produced like so. This is, I'm not getting any air down to my throat, I'm only producing the sound, which is incorrect. Okay, for the letter ha, too much of sound cannot be produced. Ihdina, no. Ihdina, ha, he, hu, harun. Okay, ihdina. This is deep throat where the letter hamza and ha are produced. Next, we have the middle throat, which is called wasat al-halq. Wasata means middle, al-halq is throat. From here, we have two letters from which first letter is al-ain. Al-ain. Okay, al-ain is produced from here, whereby we need to squeeze the little muscle in our throat. Ah, ah. عاريعو 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 نعبد نعبد. Okay, we shouldn't be saying this letter similar to the sound of hamza. It's not na'budu, not na'budu, it's na'budu. Okay, when you're putting a sukun and when you are giving ample time, you can feel a muscle is being squeezed in your middle throat. Okay, so is not and it shouldn't sound like ha also. It's not and it's not it's a ri ru ri ru. It's not like I said previously, and it shouldn't sound like re. These two sound should be avoided. Okay, these two extremes where you're giving too much of the sound like also not allowed, and re giving the a sound is also not allowed. Okay, next letter in middle throat we have al-ha. Okay, ah, ha, he, hu, ha, he, hu. This ha, you must give a lot of air to travel to your middle throat. Okay, it's ah. You can feel the air in your middle throat when you're pronouncing it with sukun. Okay, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman. It shouldn't sound like the deep throat ha. It's not Ar-Rahman, it's Ar-Rahman. Ha, Alhamdu, Alhamdu. Okay, fasabbih bihamdi, fasabbih bihamdi. And then we have hu, hukm, hukm. With fatha, kasra, dhamma, you must have the air pushed forward. Okay, you must feel the air in your middle throat. Ah. For this also, for the sound of fatha, it should not sound like ha or he. It should be in the middle. Ha. It's not ha. It's not he. It's ha. Okay, in throat, we have the third makhraj point, which is upper throat, Al-Halq. Have the first letter of Al-Halq, Al-Kha. Al-Kha. We have this Kha from the upper throat, where you need to hear this sharp grinding sound. Kha, Kha, Akh, Akh, Kha, Khi, Khu, Kha, Khi, Khu, Akh, Akh, Khalidina, Khalidina. Okay, so this kha, you must have this sound in your back of the throat. Kha. Okay, the next letter is al-ghain. Al-ghain. This is also from the top of the throat. Okay, the difference between this kha and this ghain is where this kha will have a sharp sound. Okay, this kha sound is very sharp for al-kha, whereas for al-ghain, the sound is more blunt. The sound, many associate it with the sound of our, when we gargle our mouth. Okay, when we gargle it with water, how the sound will come, argh, argh, right? So that's how they associate the sound, argh, gha, ri, ru. The sound of the grinding of the throat must be present, but the sound is more blunt, not as sharp as kha. Sound is more blunt. Agh, agh, gha, ghi, ghu, ghayril maghdubi. Maghdubi. Okay, it's not gairi, it's not magdubi, you know, the mug, the mug, it's not the sound. It's not magdubi. You must feel the grinding sound in your throat. Maghdubi. Maghdubi. For beginners, you can feel that this part of the tongue, when it's touching the throat, you can feel it shaky. Okay, because if you're trying it for the first time, you will feel it shaky. You can't hold it there for a very long time. For ghain sukun especially, maghdubi, you can feel the shakiness. Maghdubi. Okay, over time with practice, you won't feel the shakiness anymore. Maghdubi, maghdubi. You can go and say it fluently. But in the beginning, you will feel this shaky kind of feeling at the back of your tongue when it is where it is touching the throat area. But it is all right. It is okay, because if you are a beginner, that's how you will feel it. That's how you should feel it. Okay. Over time, with practice, with enough practice, you'll be able to get it. So for letter kha, it's more of a sharp sound. Akh, kha, khi, khu. And for ghain, it's more of a blunt sound. Agh, gha, ghi, ru. Okay. For this letter ghain and kha, the sound must be thick. The sound must be heavy. It's not kha, it's kha. And for letter ghain, it's not gha. It's not gha, it's gha. Okay, because these two letters are heavy letters. Okay, so heavy letters, the sound is emitted heavily, where you will be raising your back tongue. Okay, this topic I will be teaching soon, inshallah. But for now, just take note of the sound. For letter ghain, it's not gha, it's gha. Okay, and for kha, it's not kha, it's kha. Okay, So inshallah, next lesson we'll be learning about our third major area, which is al-lisan. Assalamu alaikum warahmathullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan.